Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'd like to look at precision landing with my trusty DJI Air 2S. Let's get on with the show. Let's rip right into it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put the drone down on the mat now. As you can see, I've got it pegged on both sides, just a bit of a precaution. Now notice the H on the mat. I'm going to place it, my drone right there, facing on the north on the mat. Now we're going to do a precision landing. So without any further ado, let's get on with it. So it's important to make sure that you have calibrated your compass in the drone. This is vital for a precision landing. Try and think of a ship that's going across the sea, thousands of kilometres or thousands of miles. Now, if it didn't have GPS or compass, imagine if it was, okay, they knew they were going north, but imagine if they're only one degree out. By the time they get there, they would be hundreds of miles away from their port, to the left or to the right. Drone works very similar. It needs to know where home is. And the best way is to let it sit there, take your time, let the drone acquire all its satellites, and make sure that your compass is properly calibrated. Let's see how we go now. This drone of mine has been calibrated, and let's see how we go. I've acquired 23 satellites, and that is good. Now this is how I do it. Let me show you. Let's take off. I like to hover a little bit, and then I like to turn the camera straight down towards the mat. I like to take it up about 7 metres or so, and you can see the main camera is still looking at the mat. All right, flipping the camera up now. Go for a little fly. Okay, so we're about 30 metres away. I don't think it's necessary to go, you know, a kilometre out or anything like that. Take it over towards the east. Try not to run into a pole or anything like that. Now the reason I'm not taking it out too far, because I've got it set to 80 metres to come back, and I don't think we need to do that. Okay, let's hit the return to home now. I'll step back a little bit. Remember that the sensors are on. And if you're standing near the mat, it potentially could think you're an obstacle and deem it unsafe to land. Okay, here we go. As you can see, the centre cross is pretty much on the money. Just a little bit off. It's coming down, and let's go and have a look at that one. As you can see, a fairly precise landing. Now, these landings even occur when I take it out several hundred metres away, and that doesn't affect it whatsoever. We fly around, you know, for 15 minutes or whatever and go wherever I like, but it'll always come back to this mat. It's important, I believe, to have a mat, because it gives a bit of contrast for the drone to see something that it recognises. Let's go back to the studio now and check out what I managed to score on the video here. Welcome to the studio, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video on precision landing. It's a technique that I have used since flying drones and found it to work very, very well. It really is a case of just having the drone know where it's got to go. Often we tend to blame the equipment and not ourselves. Or, for example, we're in a hurry to get that perfect shot. We jumped out of the car, we just want to quickly put it up to see something over there. And we can often forget about these things. But that happens. I do it myself sometimes, we're all guilty of it. Bear in mind that the mat too, I think, is an important thing. It gives a good contrast on the ground. Drone can see it and will recognise it when it comes back. In fact, when the drone came down before, I don't know whether you noticed, but it was a little bit off, but it corrected itself to one side once it found its mat, if you like. It's sort of like its friend, I guess. I understand that sometimes you can't always have a landing mat, and for instance on a boat or something like that, people tend to hand catch. I strongly recommend not hand catching your drone unless absolutely necessary. I have seen injuries where people have done big damage to their fingers. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed my content today, and I look forward to seeing you in the very next one. Bye for now.